Gardening feels hard because it is sold that way. In 2023, U.S. lawn and garden retail sales climbed past $22 billion according to the National Gardening Association, and a huge chunk of that came from products designed to fix problems that never needed to exist in the first place. Bottled fertilizers for tired soil, plastic cloches for frost, extra potting mix because last season's soil was dumped in the trash, decorative fencing to keep rabbits out. Stack it all together, and a simple backyard hobby quietly turns into a subscription service that renews every spring. But here is the uncomfortable truth the industry does not advertise. Most of the struggle comes from overcomplicating something that nature already solved. Soil wants to grow plants, seeds want to germinate, insects want balance. The moment gardening starts to feel hard, expensive, or overwhelming, it usually means someone skipped a simple principle. The hacks in this video are not gimmicks. They are small shifts that remove friction, cut costs, and align your garden with how ecosystems already function. Let's get straight into it. Number 1. Buy one, divide two. Perennials at garden centers often sit in containers for 1 to 2 growing seasons before sale, which means by the time they reach the shelf, their root systems are mature, dense, and frequently root-bound. Horticultural studies from land-grant universities consistently show that dividing established perennials improves vigor and stimulates new growth because it reduces root competition and encourages fresh feeder roots. So instead of buying 2 small plants, buy 1 large one and divide it the moment you get home. Look for clear crown separations in hostas, daylilies, ornamental grasses, coneflowers, and black-eyed Susans. Gently tease apart the root mass with a soil knife or even your hands. The result is immediate multiplication without additional cost. If a 1-gallon perennial costs $18 to $25, dividing it effectively cuts that price in half. Over a season of planting, that habit alone can save hundreds. More importantly, it shifts the mindset from consumer to propagator. Gardening becomes less about buying and more about expanding. Number 2. Sheet mulching with newspaper and cardboard. Weed control is where many beginners burn out. Pulling weeds in compacted soil is exhausting, and chemical herbicides introduce long-term soil damage and runoff concerns. Sheet mulching solves both problems. Lay down 5 to 6 sheets of newspaper or a single layer of plain cardboard over grass or bare soil, overlap edges by several inches, soak thoroughly, then add compost and mulch on top. Research from Washington State University Extension confirms that cardboard suppresses light effectively enough to kill turfgrass underneath while still allowing water penetration and earthworm movement. Earthworms, which can increase soil organic matter by up to 20% in active systems, move upward to consume the decomposing paper. The grass below breaks down instead of being ripped out. No sod cutter, no backstrain. Clean pallet cardboard, free of tape and heavy ink, is ideal because it lays flat and decomposes evenly. Newspaper works beautifully in tight perennial beds because it molds around existing plants. Within a year, the paper is gone, replaced by darker, softer soil. The hard work never needed to happen. Number 3. Emergency frost protection with bottles and pots. Late frosts damage tender seedlings because ice crystals rupture plant cells. Covering plants traps radiant heat from the soil and raises temperatures underneath by several degrees. Even a 2-degree buffer can prevent tissue damage. Clear plastic bottles with the bottoms removed act as miniature cloches. Upside-down nursery pots weighted with a rock do the same. The protection is temporary, and covers must be removed the next morning to prevent overheating, but they can save weeks of growth overnight. Gardening feels hard when a single cold night erases progress. This hack turns panic into preparation. Number 4. Coffee filters in pots. Container drainage holes clog because fine soil particles migrate downward and compact over time. When water cannot escape freely, roots suffocate. Lining the bottom of pots with 2 or 3 standard coffee filters prevents soil loss without blocking water flow. Coffee filters are designed to allow rapid water movement while retaining fine particles, and they break down slowly over months. The result is cleaner patios, improved drainage, and less soil waste. A small tweak, but multiplied across 10 or 15 containers, it eliminates a recurring annoyance that makes container gardening feel messy and frustrating. Number 5. Use nursery pots as soil fillers. Large decorative planters can require 2 to 3 cubic feet of potting mix, which at current prices can cost $25 to $40 per container. Yet annual flowers such as petunias and mandevilla rarely require that much root depth for a single season. Flip an empty nursery pot upside down inside the larger planter before adding soil. It takes up volume, improves drainage, and reduces soil costs dramatically. Studies on container plant performance show that root depth for most annual bedding plants ranges between 6 and 10 inches. Filling beyond that is often unnecessary. Lighter pots are easier to move, less likely to crack patios, and less expensive to maintain. For perennials or shrubs that overwinter in containers, full soil volume is still essential. But for seasonal displays, this hack pays dividends. Number 6. Reuse and refresh potting soil. The myth that container soil must be replaced every planting cycle is expensive and environmentally wasteful. Peat-based potting mixes, commonly used in commercial products, are harvested from peat bogs that take thousands of years to regenerate. Discarding them annually adds unnecessary demand. Instead, remove old plant roots, loosen the remaining soil, and replace the top third with fresh mix. Blend in a slow-release fertilizer such as Osmocote, which releases nutrients over 3 to 4 months as temperatures rise. Research from Cornell Cooperative Extension confirms that refreshing container media with compost and balanced fertilizer restores nutrient levels effectively for most annual plantings. The only time full replacement is necessary is when roots have completely overtaken the container, creating hydrophobic conditions where water runs off instead of absorbing. Refreshing instead of replacing cuts soil costs by up to 60% over a season. Number 7. DIY plant feed. When containers sit flat on patios or soil, drainage holes clog, moisture accumulates, and pests such as pill bugs establish shelter underneath. Elevating pots even half an inch improves airflow and drainage. Scrap wood, leftover decking boards, or cut sections of old pallets make simple plant feed. By creating a small gap, water drains freely and root rot risk declines. University horticulture departments consistently emphasize drainage as the single most critical factor in container plant health. Sometimes the solution is not more soil, not more fertilizer, not more water, but simply air. Number 8. Winter sowing in recycled bottles. Indoor seed starting setups often require grow lights, heat mats, shelving, and electricity, turning a packet of lettuce seeds into a mini engineering project. Winter sowing eliminates all of it. The method, popularized by gardener Trudy Davidoff in the early 2000s, uses recycled milk jugs or clear plastic bottles as miniature greenhouses. Seeds are sown in potting mix inside the container. The jug is sealed with ventilation holes, and it sits outdoors through winter. As temperatures fluctuate, seeds experience natural stratification, a process many species require to germinate. When spring warmth arrives, germination happens automatically. Seedlings grown this way develop thicker stems and greater cold tolerance compared to indoor starts because they are conditioned by real weather. No lights, no timers, no crowded windowsills. Nature handles the schedule. Number 9. Living fences instead of wood. Traditional fencing can cost $15 to $40 per linear foot depending on material. A 50-foot perimeter easily climbs into the thousands. Planting a living fence of native grasses, dense perennials, and flowering shrubs creates both barrier and habitat. Studies from the Xerces Society show that native plant hedgerows increase pollinator abundance by up to 50% compared to open turf edges. Dense plantings also reduce rabbit and deer intrusion by obstructing sightlines and access paths. A border of switchgrass, coneflowers, bee balm, and shrubs functions as ecological armor. It protects, feeds pollinators, stabilizes soil, and looks alive instead of industrial. Hard boundaries cost money. Living ones generate value. Number 10. DIY plant markers. That last. Plant markers fade because many permanent markers are not UV stable. Sunlight breaks down ink pigments within weeks. Using UV-resistant garden markers or paint pens significantly extends label life. Recycled plastic knives, cut strips from old mini blinds, or cleaned yogurt containers become durable tags. The key is the ink. Accurate labeling reduces mistakes, prevents overcrowding, and improves crop rotation planning, which according to agricultural extension research can reduce soil-borne disease buildup by 30% or more over multiple seasons. Organization quietly eliminates stress. Number 11. The Mailbox Tool Station. Time is one of the biggest hidden costs in gardening. A University of Illinois Extension Time study once found that home gardeners can spend up to 30% of their active garden time walking back and forth to retrieve tools, gloves, ties, or pruners. That is not gardening, that is commuting. Installing a weatherproof mailbox directly in the garden changes that equation instantly. Standard rural mailboxes are designed to withstand rain, snow, heat, and wind for years. Mount one on a wooden post near your busiest bed or attach it to a fence or tree in a central location. Inside, keep snips, plant ties, seed packets, twine, gloves, and a small hand trowel. The difference is subtle at first. Deadheading becomes quicker. Harvesting greens becomes spontaneous instead of delayed. Pruning no longer requires a trip to the shed. Over a season, those saved steps add up to hours. Gardening stops feeling like a chore that requires preparation and becomes something you can dip into casually, the way nature intended. When friction disappears, consistency replaces it. and consistency is where gardens thrive. Number 12. Garden hose bed design. Creating a new planting bed often begins with guesswork and spray paint, yet most homeowners already own a flexible design tool that stretches 50 to 100 feet and bends into any curve imaginable. Lay a garden hose on the ground and experiment with shapes before digging. Wide arcs feel natural and are easier to mow around than tight angles. Landscape design research consistently shows that flowing curves increase perceived space and reduce maintenance friction compared to sharp corners. Once satisfied, outline the hose with a shovel edge and begin sheet mulching or soil preparation. This approach removes the intimidation factor of permanent decisions. The bed shape becomes adjustable until the moment the shovel hits soil. Design should feel playful, not stressful. Number 13. Dump the whole seed packet. Tiny seeds intimidate beginners. Spacing charts, thinning instructions, precision planting tools. It feels technical. For leafy greens and many root crops, uniform density matters less than consistent moisture. Mix seeds with dry sand for even distribution. Scatter across a prepared bed, water thoroughly, and let the patch grow thick. Agricultural research on cut-and-come-again lettuce production shows that dense sowing can produce higher total yield per square foot because repeated harvesting stimulates regrowth. Instead of waiting for perfect spacing, harvest daily. Thin by eating. A bed bursting with green is forgiving. Sparse rows are not. Number 14. Dollar store. Mesh waste baskets as cloche. Wire mesh waste baskets, roughly 12 inches tall, make effective pest barriers. When placed over seedlings and secured with landscape pins, they block rabbits and deer while allowing airflow and light. Unlike solid plastic covers, mesh prevents heat buildup. For gardeners dealing with wildlife pressure, this simple barrier eliminates the heartbreak of overnight destruction. Pest damage accounts for significant crop loss globally. Even in home gardens, losing seedlings repeatedly discourages new growers. A $3 basket can protect months of effort. Number 15. Line beds with herbs. Companion planting is often exaggerated, but certain principles are well supported. Aromatic herbs such as rosemary, thyme, oregano, and basil produce volatile oils that can mask the scent of nearby crops. While they are not magic shields, diversified plantings reduce monoculture vulnerability. Research from integrated pest management programs shows that increasing plant diversity improves populations of beneficial insects, including parasitic wasps and predatory beetles. Herb flowers provide nectar, extending habitat for these allies. Tuck herbs along bed edges. They deter some pests, attract pollinators, and provide harvests of their own. Protection and productivity share the same space. Number 16. Grow in the shade. Full sun gardens receive the glory, but partial shade is not a limitation. Leafy greens such as lettuce, arugula, and spinach perform exceptionally well with 3 to 5 hours of direct sunlight, especially in warmer climates where full exposure can trigger bolting. Studies from the University of Florida Extension show that shade can reduce heat stress and extend harvest windows for cool season crops by weeks. Herbs like chives and thyme tolerate partial shade comfortably. Instead of fighting shade, use it strategically. Cooler zones become salad factories while sun-drenched areas host fruiting crops. Space transforms from obstacle to asset. Number 17. Move heavy rocks with pipe rollers. Landscaping often stalls at the site of a massive stone. Equipment rental feels excessive. Ancient engineering offers a solution. Place 3 lengths of PVC pipe beneath the rock and roll it forward, moving the rear pipe to the front as it advances. This principle, used in construction for thousands of years, reduces friction dramatically. The physics is simple. Rolling resistance is far lower than sliding friction. What feels immovable becomes manageable. Gardening is not only about plants, it is about problem solving with leverage. Number 18. Cold frames from what you already own. Beyond emergency frost bottles, stacking straw bales around a bed and laying an old window or clear panel across the top creates a passive cold frame. Temperatures inside can run 5 to 10 degrees warmer on sunny days due to solar gain. Season extension increases yield without increasing space. In cooler climates, that can mean harvesting spinach in November or starting seedlings weeks earlier. Extra months of production shift gardening from seasonal hobby to near year-round habit. Number 19. Root cuttings in sand. Want to grow free plants the simple way? Many plants are genetically programmed to regenerate from root tissue the moment conditions are stable, moist, and aerated. The key is not expensive gear. The key is the medium. Most beginners are taught to root cuttings in water because it is visible and satisfying. You can watch the roots form. You can monitor progress. But water-rooted cuttings develop what botanists call water roots, which are structurally different from soil roots. These roots are adapted to constant saturation and low oxygen levels. When transplanted into soil, they often struggle because soil contains air pockets, microbial life, and varying moisture levels that require stronger, more fibrous root systems. That is why so many water-rooted cuttings stall after transplanting, appearing healthy at first and then wilting as they attempt to adapt. Moist sand changes that dynamic completely. Horticultural research consistently shows that coarse sand provides excellent drainage while still holding enough moisture to prevent desiccation. More importantly, sand contains abundant air spaces between particles. Oxygen is critical during root formation because developing root cells require aerobic respiration. When a cutting is placed into moist sand, it receives consistent moisture without suffocation. The result is thicker, sturdier roots that resemble true garden roots from the beginning. The process is straightforward. Use clean, coarse builder's sand or horticultural sand, not beach sand, which may contain salts. Fill a container with drainage holes, moisten the sand thoroughly so it feels like a wrung-out sponge, and insert your root or stem cuttings directly into the medium. Keep the sand consistently damp, but never waterlogged. Place the container in bright, indirect light. Within weeks, depending on the plant species, resistance will be felt when gently tugging on the cutting. That resistance signals root development. Unlike water-rooted cuttings, these sand-grown roots are already acclimated to a soil-like structure, meaning transplant shock is dramatically reduced. The cutting transitions into garden soil smoothly because the root architecture is already adapted to aerated conditions. Certain plants respond especially well to this method. Perennials such as phlox, raspberries, blackberries, and many ornamental shrubs can be propagated from root sections placed horizontally in sand. Even woody plants that resist water propagation often succeed in sand because fungal rot is less common in a well-draining medium. Sand reduces the risk of stem rot that frequently occurs in stagnant water jars left on windowsills. There is also a financial advantage that compounds over time. A single mature perennial can produce multiple root cuttings each season. If one nursery-grown plant costs $20 to $30, multiplying it through sand propagation effectively turns one purchase into 5 or 10 plants within a year or two. Over multiple seasons, that single decision can replace hundreds of dollars in new plant purchases. Number 20. Organize before you expand. The final hack is less visible but more powerful than all the others combined. Track planting dates, frost dates, and yields in a simple notebook stored in that garden mailbox. Extension studies consistently show that record keeping improves future yield and timing accuracy because decisions become data-driven instead of reactive. Knowing that last year's last frost occurred on April 18th instead of relying on average charts changes planting strategy. Small records prevent repeated mistakes, and repeated mistakes are what make gardening feel hard. Gardening becomes overwhelming when it is approached as a shopping list instead of a system. Each of these hacks removes a layer of unnecessary complexity. Tools move closer, plants multiply themselves, weeds smother without chemicals, soil gets reused instead of discarded, frost loses its power, shade gains purpose, seeds scatter freely. None of it requires expensive gear, none of it depends on trends. These are adjustments measured in inches and dollars that compound into seasons of abundance. The more gardening aligns with natural processes and simple physics, the less effort it demands. When effort drops, enjoyment rises. When enjoyment rises, consistency follows. And consistency is where harvests multiply. If even one of these shifts lightened the load or sparked an idea for your own space, share it with someone who believes gardening is too hard to start. And if you want more practical systems like this, subscribe to Heritage Harvest so the next season grows easier than the last. See you in the next one.